You know the guy. At dinner, when the bill comes, he's the one who pulls it toward himself not to pay it, but to audit it. He wants to know why his share is what it is. He didn't have the appetizer. He only had water. He does the division out loud while everyone else waits, wallets already open, wishing he'd just let it go. Call him Marcus. Marcus clips coupons. Marcus drives across town to save 11 cents a gallon. Marcus has an app that tracks the price of everything, and he will tell you, unprompted, that he got his shoes 40% off. Everyone who knows Marcus assumes the same thing about him. This is a man who is careful with money. This is a man who, quietly, must be doing quite well. Marcus is broke, not struggling to eat broke. Worse, in a way invisibly broke. Nice jacket, decent car, one bad month from disaster broke. And the thing that's keeping him there is the exact thing everyone admires him for. Let me show you the difference nobody explains. There are two completely different things that look identical from the outside, and we use one word for both. Being cheap and being wealthy. They can produce the same behaviors. A cheap person and a wealthy person might both drive an old car, skip the fancy restaurant, and refuse to overpay. From across the room, you can't tell them apart. That's why everyone gets this wrong. But underneath, they are opposites. Complete opposites. And the difference isn't in what they don't spend. It's in what they're paying attention to. Marcus is optimizing the size of every expense. The wealthy version of Marcus is optimizing something else entirely, and he barely thinks about the 11 cents a gallon at all. Watch where Marcus's attention actually goes. Marcus will spend 40 minutes comparing two blenders to save $9. That same week, he'll renew a car lease he can't really afford without running the actual numbers. Because the monthly payment sounds fine. He'll argue over a dinner bill, then carry a credit card balance that quietly costs him more in a month than every coupon he clipped all year. He is guarding the front door with a magnifying glass while the back wall is missing. This is the trap of being cheap. It focuses all your energy on the smallest, most visible numbers: the coffee, the grocery bill, the dinner split, because those are the ones you can feel. They're emotional. They're right in front of you. And they're almost never the numbers that decide anything. Meanwhile, the big, boring, invisible numbers: the interest rate, the car you overbought, the subscription creep, the fact that nothing you own is actually growing, those sit in the background, untouched, doing real damage. Marcus can't see them because he's too busy winning a $9 argument in the blender aisle. Cheap feels like control. That's the whole appeal. Every coupon is a tiny hit of "I'm being responsible," but it's the feeling of control, aimed at the part of your money that matters least. Quick thing, because the next part is where this flips. If you've ever known a Marcus or quietly worried you, might be one this channel is built for exactly that. Money Lens. Hit subscribe and stay to the end, because the difference between cheap and wealthy is the whole game, and it's simpler than you'd think. Now let's look at the other guy, the one nobody notices. Call her Dana. Dana isn't cheap. Dana will happily pay full price for something that lasts, because she did the math once and never has to do it again. She doesn't argue over the dinner bill. She finds it exhausting, and she'd rather protect the friendship than win $4. If you only watched her at dinner, you'd think she was careless with money. She's the opposite of careless. She just aimed her attention somewhere you can't see. While Marcus was comparing blenders, Dana spent that same 40 minutes once setting up an automatic transfer into an account that grows. She never thinks about it again. It runs whether she's paying attention or not. She overpaid for good tires because cheap tires get replaced twice. She kept her paid-off car for 9 years not to suffer, but because a car payment was the one expense she refused to reintroduce into her life. Dana looks less careful than Marcus. She's just careful about the things that actually move the needle, and relaxed about the things that don't. That combination tight on the big invisible stuff. Loose on the small visible stuff is what wealth actually looks like from the inside. It almost never looks like coupons. Here's the part that reframes everything. Being cheap and being broke aren't just coincidentally found in the same person. One quietly causes the other. Because cheapness is a mindset of scarcity, and scarcity keeps you small. When your entire relationship with money is about defense, spend less, cut more, guard the pennies, you never develop the other muscle, the one that actually builds wealth. The offense. Earning more, investing, taking the calculated risk, valuing your time enough to stop driving across town for 11 cents. Marcus will spend 2 hours saving $9 and never once calculate that his time was worth more than the $9. Because in a scarcity mindset, your time feels free and your dollars feel precious. That's backwards. That's the exact equation that keeps someone busy, exhausted, and broke all at once. For decades, Dana values her time, so she stopped chasing tiny savings years ago. That freed up the one resource cheap people are always spending without noticing attention. And she pointed it at the things that compound. Cheap protects what you have. Wealthy builds what you don't have yet. You cannot coupon your way to wealth. Nobody in history ever has. So how do you tell which one you actually are? Because from the outside, remember, they look the same. Here's the honest test. It's not about how much you spend. It's about where your attention goes when you think about money. If your money thoughts are mostly about cutting the grocery bill, the coffee, the dinner split, the small daily leaks, that's the cheap frame. It feels responsible, but it's defense, aimed at the smallest numbers you have. If your money thoughts are mostly about the big, boring machinery, what's your interest rate actually costing you? Is anything you own growing? Are you optimizing the 3 or 4 expenses that dwarf all the others combined? That's the wealth frame. It's less emotionally satisfying. There's no little hit of victory in it. It just quietly works. Marcus gets a dozen small wins a week and loses the war every year. Dana gets no small wins at all and quietly wins the only number that matters. None of this means stop being careful. Careful is good. The point is where you aim it. If you're going to spend 40 minutes optimizing something, don't spend it on the blender. Spend it once on the boring machinery, the rate, the automatic transfer, the one big expense that's quietly eating everything. Set it up and then let it run. Then honestly, go buy the coffee. Split the dinner without doing math. Let the 11 cents a gallon go. Those were never the fight. Because the tightest person in the room, the one everyone assumes is secretly rich, look closer. He's usually just tired. He's fighting the wrong war every single day and losing it so slowly he doesn't even feel it happening. Being cheap and being wealthy look the same from across the room. But one of them is guarding pennies at the front door, and the other one already walked out the back years ago with everything that actually mattered. The difference was never how much they spent. It was what they were watching while they spent it. This is Money Lens. We show you what the money world doesn't say out loud.